I'm here with Rahul, who his artist name is Renal. Really excited to have you here.
Yeah.
How long have you been performing live? And oh my God,
Well, I started putting music out before I even played my first show. So, um, my first show was like in May last year. Um, and so ever since then, I've been performing. So it's just been over a year now.
what would you say your biggest influences are?
My biggest influences are probably artists that normally have started from a point where no one else can say they sound like them. Those are the kind of artists that I really like gravitate towards, like people like Frank Ocean and like Tyler the Creator and Brockhampton.
What's your creative process like?
So I start producing first before I even start singing. So a lot of how I make music is based on what the music instrumentation of it all sounds like. And I rarely go into a studio session already kind of knowing what I'm going to write. And a lot of the times, lyrically, what comes out of me was based on what the music is telling me to write about. And it's one of those feelings, I know it's very cliche to say this, but it's when you write a song, you go, oh, that's how I'm actually feeling. Amazing. So it's kind of one of those feelings where I walk in and it's more about I know sonically what I want from that session, and then that sonics will eventually lead me to what I want to write about. And that's usually 80% of the time that's how it goes. And every now and then I'll go very traditional with it and like I'll know exactly what I want to write and then back around that. Yeah.
Amazing. How do you stay motivated?
For me, the best way for me to stay motivated is to look at that part of my life when I was playing badminton and how much better I got and how much I treat it now as in if there's a moment in my music career where it's not going well, I treat it as an injury. And, I'm in my injury phase and eventually I'll get out of it and I'll come back. So that's how I feel. Try and stay motivated now is because it feels like a journey where it's just up and down all the time. And it just feels nice knowing that patience eventually will just get you through those waves a little bit. And it's so important to have those moments as well because otherwise I wouldn't be writing these sad songs. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how patience, I think that's just my biggest selling point for me to stay motivated.
Amazing, yeah. Patience and perspective.
Yeah,
Probably apply that to all
everything.
aspects of
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
yeah, literally.
What's your favourite song that you've written and why?
My favorite song I've written is it's called Older. It's probably the most like personal song I've ever written. Um, and it's about my sister and it's about navigating a family relationship and family dynamics and it's one of those feelings that come out of it for me is like something you had at the tip of your tongue but you wanted to say to someone and then you finally got it out and that feeling of finally getting it out makes you feel so good, something nice that you want to say to the person, something comforting, and you're keeping that to yourself because you're too scared to say it and then you eventually just say it.
What have been your biggest challenges as a musician so far?
um I think I started this whole journey when I first started putting music out, and my first ever song I wasn't going to put out as my first song blew up on TikTok, and I had this huge phase of like every label, every industry person reaching out, trying to like get a hold, and all they wanted was that song. They didn't actually look at me and look at the rest of the music. It was more just we want this song, and what happens in that moment is like you chase that virality over and over and over again because that dopamine that it fills you with just in the current world we're living with. Dopamine itself is just so hard to navigate, and as an artist when you get that feeling of so many people liking your song and get all these streams, it puts the pressure on everything else that you release from that point on. And I got to realize I've only been putting music out for a year and a half, and every song, if I didn't have that song go viral, I'd actually be on the right journey. So it's hard for people in the industry to see that sometimes because they expect that to happen over and over again. So yeah, that was really hard to navigate over the last year, I'd say.
What would be your best advice to any young aspiring musician?
I think with the current state of music marketing and music promotion and building an audience, to be sustainable and be happy and to have a long term career, I think that's the eventual goal for anyone trying to make music is to have a long term career, I guess. And to be able to do that, the only way I see that working is just being true to yourself and to what you want to make. And if you don't like it, then it's not going to be sustainable for 10 years, for 20 years, 15 years, however long. So if you're making music that you know will hit a certain target audience because of the current state affairs of the world, and using that to go viral, I think you're going to last for a minute, and then you know people are going to forget because they're just going to go to the next person that's giving them that. And so for me, it's like even if people don't, like I said about all those artists that are influencers, people may not get it at first, but over time you give them more of your world and more of your world, and people start seeing it, and that way you can really build a sustainable fan base that actually care about you, care about the world you're creating. So
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's amazing advice. I viewers appreciate that. Everyone I speak to nowadays, it's the conversation's more about algorithms and the love of the actual song, and it's become such a confusing kind of state of affairs for artists now, where they're having to play this game. And I hope as well that people listen to advice from people like you and just focus on the music and do it for that passion for the life.
yeah,
You know, you don't want to just be doing it for 5 minutes, and you have to keep going.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. I just got actually for my last question. Do you just want to say what you've got? Did we say about what you've got released? What coming up? The name of your
Project
that you're
Yeah.
releasing.
My debut project would have came out on the 2nd of June. It's called A Space Between Orange and Blue, and my identity as a brown person first and foremost, because I was hiding that a lot from people. That's why this project is called Space Between Orange and Blue, because you add those colors together, you get brown. And so it's my experience as a brown person in a Western context. That's what the whole project is. And so it takes you through this journey of orange songs and takes you through blue songs. And the orange to me defines, you're with your friends and you're having fun, and everything's great. And the blue part is the more introspective. You're walking down the street late at night alone, and you got music to like really think about.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've been absolutely
you.
amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe because it helps us to support us doing what we're doing, support an artist. For the studios, I've been Josh. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.